96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The government to act on shanty towns. Tributes paid to Obi Wolshcombe. And more on the book about FDX chief Sam Bankman-Fried. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking to the founder of MAP, that's Mammography Access Program, and what they're doing in Grand Bahama. And later in business, we're talking about the Access Accelerator, Small Business Development Center. A lot going on with them this month. We're going to get all the details about that this morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Minister of Works Clay Sweeting will begin posting notices in shanty towns, which will give the owners of these illegal structures 28 days to pull down the structures. His ministry making the announcement yesterday. Should the person to whom notice is given fails to comply with the notice, the minister may, in accordance with the Building Regulations Act, pull down or remove the illegal structures and recover from that person the expenses incurred in so doing that. The ministry says that it established the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force to address the critical safety concerns within unregulated communities in the Bahamas. The Progressive Liberal Party was all that Obi Wolshcombe knew, according to his lifelong friend Glenn and Santa Martin. She was speaking at PLP headquarters in New Providence last night as PLPs paid tribute to the late West Grand Bahama and Bimini Member of Parliament who died unexpectedly on September 25th. Hannah Martin saying that Wolshcombe loved the organization with all his heart because he understood what the party meant to the people of the Bahamas. Scores turning out to pay tribute to Wolshcombe last night. His funeral is set for Friday. A man who worked at the Department of Information Technology at the Office of the Prime Minister has been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison after a cache of guns and ammunition found in his apartment. A team of officers seizing 8 pistols and 979 rounds of ammunition when they raided 35-year-old Carlson Pinder's home in Sunset Park in Providence on September 28th. Pinder pleaded guilty to charges of possession of firearms with intent to supply, possession of ammunition with intent to supply, possession of component parts of a firearm, and possession of ammunition at his arraignment before Acting Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley on Tuesday. When the police arrived, Pinder showed them where the contraband was hidden. He also told the officers that his 33-year-old cousin, Cordario Lewis, and a 13-year-old boy didn't have anything to do with illegal items. Pinder allegedly found the contraband on a deceased friend's property in Love Hill, Andros, about a week before. Pinder had no prior convictions. Lewis reportedly traveled from Andros to New Providence to take an exam and search for a job, and the teen pleaded not guilty to the charges. And a jury has been impaneled to hear the case of a man accused of raping and robbing a woman who was taking a walk. Prosecutors allege that 26-year-old Christopher Forbes committed the crimes on May 6, 2022. His alleged victim woke up that morning and decided to go for a walk. Prosecutors say the woman encountered Forbes, who was armed with a cutlass. He allegedly forced her into bushes where he raped her twice. He also allegedly robbed her of 2 cell phones and a pair of AirPods with a combined value of $1,250. Forbes, who's on remand, has pleaded not guilty at his trial before Justice Janine Wich Gomez. Forbes has rejected 2 court-appointed lawyers and has decided to represent himself. Overseas from the United States, Speaker Kevin McCarthy was forced out of the job Tuesday in an extraordinary showdown, a first in U.S. history, forced by a contingent of hard-right conservatives and throwing the House and its Republican leadership into chaos. It's the end of the political line for McCarthy, who has said repeatedly that he never gives up, but found himself with almost no options remaining. Neither the right flank Republicans who engineered his ouster nor the Democrats who piled on seemed open to negotiations. McCarthy told lawmakers in the evening that he would not run again for Speaker, putting the gavel up for grabs. Next steps are highly uncertain, with no obvious successor to lead the House Republican majority. Action is halted in the House until next week, when Republicans try to elect a new Speaker. Also from the U.S., some scary news. Shooting interrupted a homecoming week celebration at Baltimore's Morgan State University, wounding 5 people and prompting an hours-long lockdown at the historically black college. Students hunkered down for about 4 hours as police went room to room looking for suspects. No arrests were made. The police commissioner said the 5 victims, 4 men and 1 woman, are between the ages of 18 and 22. Their injuries were not life-threatening. He was speaking to reporters at a news conference early this morning. Morgan State Police Chief Lance Hatcher said 4 of the victims are students at the university. The police did not release information about a suspect or suspects. Investigators didn't know how many shooters were involved either. The shooting happened shortly after the coronation of Mr. and Miss Morgan State at the Murphy Fine Arts Center as students were heading to a campus ball. Police say reports indicate that folks heard gunshots and several dorm windows were shattered, so officials initially thought that there was an active shooter on campus and acted accordingly. They ended the shelter-in-place order around 12:30 a.m. after SWAT officers cleared a building where a suspect was feared to be hiding. In sports, the Bahamas Football Association announcing the renaming of the esteemed new Providence Primary School Soccer Tournament, the Don and Knowles Primary School Soccer Tournament. The honor comes in recognition of Knowles' enduring commitment and tireless efforts towards the event, which has showcased the athletic prowess and skills of under 10 and under 12 primary school students. Since 1995, Knowles, the retired senior education officer responsible for physical education, playing an instrumental role in the inception and success of the event. You can read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. Major League Baseball playoff action. The Philadelphia Phillies getting off to a 4-1 win over the Miami Marlins in Game 1 of their three-game best-of-3 National League wildcard series. The Diamondbacks getting win of the Brewers 6-3 in their wildcard series opener. Texas Rangers beating the Tampa Bay Rays 4-0 in their American League wildcard opener. And the other American League wildcard series, the Minnesota Twins finally stopping a record 18-game postseason skid, beating the Toronto Blue Jays 3-1 yesterday. More games on tap today. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. We've got residual troughing associated with the dissipating frontal boundary. That's going to continue to enhance shower and thunderstorm activity, mainly across the central and southeastern Bahamas. Meanwhile, a relatively tight pressure gradient will maintain a moderate breeze over the islands. Boaters should be alert for possible waterspout activity. Flash flooding is also possible in flood-prone and low-lying areas during heavy or prolonged rainfall events. And beachgoers should be exercising caution along Atlantic exposures due to possible ripcards. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly cloudy and breezy conditions with a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Fair and mild at night with a stray shower or two possible, especially in the northwest Bahamas. Variable cloudiness and humid conditions with widely scattered showers and widely isolated thunderstorms, turning mostly cloudy tonight with stray showers likely for most of the country. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers or thunderstorms. The smoke-craft cautions in effect and due to swells over Atlantic exposures. Winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 6 feet along Atlantic exposures in northeasterly swells. Temperature-wise, right now in Nassau, it's about 80 degrees. We're looking at highs getting up to around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook. And look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. Your first look at weather brought to you by Nescafe Coffee. Elevate your coffee experience with Nescafe Gold.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
We've been with you from the very start, leading the way and providing you with the best in primetime sporting experiences. From one goal to the next, you can count on us for full access to the best sports channels at home or on the go. Make Rev your only choice. Visit rev.bs. Every match, every game, every moment. Rev, your home for sports.
America completely run out of it.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Too many debt bills? Overdue on loan payments? Improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Shrink your debt payments with a debt consolidation loan and built-in savings that pays you 5% interest. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity. We're good for you.
Girl, you see how Cora eye look funny, all black up yesterday?
But she say she bump into a wall when she's running after the churn them.
Yeah, but last Saturday you see her arm was all black and blue, right?
What you saying? You think something wrong between her and Jack?
I ain't sure, but you know Jack is a jealous man. I hear him and Cora last Friday. I hear him say he hear Cora have eyes for Junior.
Now you know that ain't true. Cora is a good woman, does mind her business, take care of them churn, and go to church every Sunday. So what you think we should do?
I think we should report Jack, you know. Cora don't say nothing, but silence hides violence, and we don't want to line up in the cemetery.
Not me. I ain't getting in nobody business, then Jack come after me, and I land up next to Cora.
No, man, we could call a text Crime Stopper. And remember, we can even get some grocery money for our tip.
Remind me again, how does this work?
We can call them in Miami at 328-TIPS or 328-8477. Or when we in the island, call toll-free at 300-TIPS or 300-8477. And if you don't have no minutes, use the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and we could text them, and the messages get all mixed up before it leave your phone, so nobody can know what you saying.
So what we waiting on then? Let's go earn some grocery money.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Coming up this morning, it is October, and it's October means Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to be talking with MAP, the Mammogram Access Program, get some details about the work they are doing. And later in business, it's our twice monthly segment with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center, and a whole lot going on with them this month. We're going to get the details in business in our 9 o'clock hour. But right now, let's talk about what else is in the news. And Chester Robots joining us now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Hi. So a lot to get to this morning. It is the opening of Parliament today, and a lot to we had lots of anticipation about what's going to come out of the speech from the throne. There's a great article in today about the last speech from the throne and some of the things that went unfulfilled, the promises that have yet to be accomplished, I'm sure that's quite a lengthy list. Yep, absolutely. And so pick up today's NASA Guardian to read all about that.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Don't get your hopes up too high, because talk is talk, or what? How should you look at it if you're doing this exercise again but haven't done more than half of the things you said you would? Things take time. Maybe that's it.
I mean, that's the question. Like, what holds them back, right? So, I mean, for some of these things, or most of these things, legislation has to be written. I mean, how big is the department that writes law?
You think that's the issue?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long that process takes. I can't imagine how much work goes into writing a law, researching what goes on around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that a lot. Like, how many people are working on a piece of law? Right?
Well, I'm sure it's not. Yeah, you can't slap it together. Yeah,
I'm sure people would love you to slap it together.
Right. But then that's where you end up with what we see happen often,
Exactly.
right? You have to come back and
Right.
redo this and redebate this and amend this and amend that. Yeah. But it will be interesting. We'll all be watching that. We're going to bring you we're going to bring live coverage of that as well this morning, scheduled to start about 10. And a lot of road closures. We've told you about some of that yesterday. We'll remind you about that today in traffic in just a few minutes. Just know that if you don't need to be downtown, don't go downtown.
I gotta go close to downtown.
Oh boy,
that means I gotta find some juk-juks to go through.
Yeah, well, if you can wait till tomorrow, that might be good. Nope, can't. Oh boy. All right, so we'll tell you about that in just a few minutes. But again, we're going to be looking forward to this, and it's going to be new Governor General Cynthia Pratt reading the speech from the throne.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be an interesting day. Of course, we know that Obi Wilshcombe will not be there, and his colleagues and friends and family paying tribute to him last night at PLP headquarters. And, but
of course, he was the leader of government business in the House.
Yeah, so it's going to be very significant to them, and you can read about it today, all the tributes that were paid, lots of pictures, teary-eyed individuals, everybody very sad about this, in today's Nassau Guardian. All right, so we talked about this yesterday, the book about FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. That book came out yesterday, and there's some... We're learning more as we get through it. Some of the stuff that's going on as it relates to the Bahamas. The book detailing the efforts of the Securities Commission as FTX crumbled. Our Rachel Scott writing about that today. I'm just going to
welcome back, Rachel.
Read a little bit about it. Yes, Rachel's back on our team. In November 2022, as the world watched while FTX plummeted into utter collapse, Christina Roll, executive director of the Securities Commission of the Bahamas, persuaded Bahamian police not to arrest Sam Bankman-Fried, according to Michael Lewis's newly released biography on the cryptocurrency exchange's now disgraced founder. Instead, Roll argued for police to confiscate the passports of Bankman-Fried and co-founder Gary Wang. Now, Lewis wrote, quote, Roll didn't think Sam was going to run, and she didn't think he was hiding billions. Her biggest worry about him was that when she asked him questions, he wouldn't give her straight answers. According to Lewis, she said, quote, I don't think he knows why people don't trust him. It's hard to see you are being played by him like a board game. Well, as you will recall, in November 2022, on Monday, November 7th, 2022, FTX announced a liquidity crisis following reports that the company was commingling funds with Alameda Research, a crypto hedge fund, also owned by Bankman-Fried. The revelation sent FTX into a free fall, raising questions over not only the future of the company itself, but also the character of cryptocurrencies, crypto's once golden child, Bankman-Fried, and the viability of larger cryptocurrency of the larger industry. According to Lewis, Roll had been, quote, genuinely shocked by how quickly people around Bankman-Fried turned on him without knowing exactly what he'd done. Lewis saying, quote, she found it troubling that the police were setting out to arrest people before anyone had any idea what they'd done.
Where did he get all this Roll information
do you think
from?
he talked to her?
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Because she didn't talk
Nobody else has talked to anybody.
they did talk to the local media much. Okay. Well, it's interesting.
It's not surprising, but it is interesting.
Lewis noted.
Plenty foreign medias get plenty more information than local media.
Clearly, they don't trust the people they grew up around.
Is it trust?
Something.
Or is it
But
something else?
it's been a long-standing phenomenon. I mean, the New York Times could walk in here and get everyone to spill all the guts. NIB number, blood type, passport number, they tell you everything.
Comfortable. Water? Would you like breakfast? And
But yet,
lunch and
the
dinner?
local media doesn't do investigative journalism. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we just need to put on some masks or hire some people with some strange names to come in here to talk to people. Maybe that'll
The
do
New
it.
York Nassau Guardian. Change the name.
No, take out Nassau entirely.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, again, we don't know if he really did talk to her. Let's see. We'll see more in the article. Lewis noted of Roll, quote, she found it troubling that the police were setting out to arrest people before anyone had any idea what they'd done. No authority had yet spoken to Sam or to any of the other leaders of FTX and Alameda. All anyone knew was that they read on what they read on Twitter. They had no evidence to charge anyone with a crime in the Bahamas. Fraud required intent, and the intent here was unclear. Without explicit charges, anyone they arrested could be held for only so long. The other reason she didn't want Sam and Gary arrested, this is how this is written, okay, was that she needed their help to understand what happened. Okay. So there's a whole lot more of this. And again, we're looking to see if there's any real indication that that he spoke to her.
I'm trying to find out now.
All right, so this is quite something. But you can read all about it in today's Nassau Guardian. I'm sure Christina Roll will be shocked to see this as well in the paper today. But my goodness. Okay. The big headlines, though. Government to act on shanty towns. Now, it is 2023, right, Chester?
Yes.
And it is October 4th, 2023?
That's correct.
You need to talk to the mic, sir. Yeah, right. It is?
Yes, and that's
Because
correct.
I'm sure I've seen this headline at least 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
Since
4.
Guardian Radio has been on the air.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe 7. I don't know. But here we go again. Okay. All right. So the owners will have 28 days to demolish the structures. Our Candia Dame's writing about it. Minister of Works, Clay Sweeting, will begin posting notices in shanty towns, which will give the owners of these illegal structures 28 days to pull down the structures. His ministry announced this yesterday. Should the person to whom notice is given fails to comply with the notice, the minister may, in accordance with the Building Regulations Act, pull down and remove the illegal structures, and the person is going to be responsible for the expenses incurred. The ministry established the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force to address the critical safety concerns within unregulated communities in the Bahamas. Now, as you may recall, under the Minutes administration, a similar committee known as the Shantytown Action Task Force was established, but its work was halted by legal action taken by some shantytown residents. The ministry said the demolition exercise was being announced, quote, with a deep commitment to safety, community, well-being, and responsible urban development. It said that unregulated communities can be described as underdeveloped or undeveloped communities that have engaged in illegal building or structures that breach the Act and the building code. Unregulated communities have long posed significant risks to both residents and wider community due to their lack of adherence to safety standards and zoning regulations. And it goes on to say that the communities lack basic necessities like sewage and waste disposal, clean water, safe electricity supply, proper setbacks for safe building structures. Yeah. All right. So the task force consists of representatives from the Ministry of Works, Social Services, Department of Immigration, Ministry of Health and Wellness, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Education, and Ministry of National Security. And there are also representatives from the Office of the Attorney General and BPL. So the process is going to is committed to securing the highest level of humanity and dignity. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, along with the Department of Social Services, are partnering in the process and will reach out to each household within the unregulated communities to determine household makeup and needs. Given that some existing residents within these communities will need to resettle or relocate into regulated housing, the task force is seeking to identify potential rental units in New Providence. Oh boy, okay.
Buena suerte with that.
My goodness. And all islands where unregulated communities exist. Now, it says that if you are a landlord or property owner and have vacant rental units, we invite you to visit our rental database portal. And it gives the address, so get the paper for it. It's long. To list your vacant unit.
So who's renting it?
What?
They
want them to rent to the people who've been living in the unregulated communities.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. This is.
Wow.
You clear on that?
No, I am.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Mm-hmm. They're saying we remind you that the government is only serving as a facilitator in this process to connect potential tenants.
That's why I asked.
With potential landlords. To that end, we kindly request all residents to be vigilant and cooperative during this process. If only so simple. It did. If it had been like this, we would never have been here. Is that possible? You're right.
Not.
Oh boy.
Do these people qualify for social services? Some of them, maybe.
Probably already getting.
Maybe. Yeah.
They also say that we quote, we understand that the demolition exercise may cause temporary disruptions to surrounding communities. However, the task force goal is to build a safer and more secure future for all residents in the Bahamas. Now, that task force was convened earlier in the year after a Supreme Court judge lifted that injunction that prevented the demolition of shantytown communities in Abaco and New Providence. The injunction, which was in place for 5 years, also prevented the construction of new shantytowns. The Davis administration has budgeted $600,000 for the task force. Okay, let's get your reaction to this. Let's hear what you have to say. Give us a call, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259, or you can call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, or text us, 422-4796. All right, let's get your reaction to this. And then I want to hear from you. You cover this in the business section, the number of units that are now on Airbnb. And I've been seeing in other cities around the world, there's a major problem with people finding housing because so many people have removed their houses and apartments from the rental pool to Airbnb only.
Right.
And that's creating major issues for people. Are we having that issue here?
In some cases, it seems like it is, like we are. But
is that only the high end, or are we seeing that across the board?
So the high end was had a different clientele, right? The high end is more fit for purpose for Airbnb. I mean, the cost to rent.
We talked about it before about the places that you do see,
right, and that's something that the Ministry of Tourism was trying to regulate. The kinds of places that people would put on Airbnb here.
Yeah.
I don't know how, actually that's probably a good follow-up, but I don't know how good they've been doing in trying to get those places up to a standard that they want.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Airbnb cares about the standard, from what I saw. But I think in terms of the short-term rental pool is mostly high-end properties for the most part.
Okay.
And some like middle end, but because I know of a few, and I don't know that they would be at a price point for
Right.
some of these people.
But people are saying they are having a hard time finding places to rent.
Yeah,
affordable places. Especially.
That's what it is. And even I think a lot of places are overpriced. I don't know who's checking on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 1 bedroom with no things in it are going for a whole heap of money around here.
No things in it? You mean unfurnished?
Unfurnished.
Okay.
Might not even be water. I
Wow.
don't know.
Let's hear what these calls have to say. Good morning. You are on the air. Good morning.
Is that me?
Yes.
Golly, I can hardly hear you on the telephone, Dwight.
Okay.
Golly day to you on Chester.
Good morning.
We need justice, law, and order in this country, and the nastiness got to stop. I want to make 2 points, Dwight, and I wish you would count the points. The first one is government would like to make regulation to situation with pertaining to government, but when it comes to individual, they want people to go to court and pay a lot of money. People not getting justice in a situation as such. My other point is, right, government be, the Prime Minister be getting all kind of money or on borrowing money and the heads of Bahamian people. The thing is, the majority of Bahamian people that are sick, blind, handicapped are not getting any service pertaining to the money what government is be getting from those international people, and the money what they be borrowing and the Bahamian people have to pay it back. That's a bunch of foolishness. Thank you for your time.
Okay. I don't know if you can, how you can say that, but okay. All right, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Very good start to the show this morning. My commentary, just by reading the headlines and listening to your commentary this morning, I don't think that so far the administration is pushing far enough to bring about a resolution per se to this matter. Everything seems to be one-dimensional and not three-dimensional. What do I mean by that? Okay, it's all fine and good to try and knock down the shanty town or shanty towns and relocate people to established legal locations, apartments, or buildings. My thing is, where's the talk about finding out who's here legally? What is the quest in order to minimize the amount of illegal migrants? Seeing that it is clearly the perception that most of these illegal or irregular areas is known to house a lot of illegal activities and illegal people. What is the push to get those persons out of the country? The social services network is already strained because the Bahamian taxpayer who pays the taxes in this country seem not to be benefiting from the systems per se.
Well, don't you think this exercise will achieve what you're talking about? I mean, it's not like someone's going to, if you're removed from this area, it's not like someone's going to rent to somebody who's not here legally.
Well, see, that is, Dwight, we have already seen what goes on in this country. In an ideal situation, we could say that. We know people are so desperate in this country right now for funds. Even an illegal person who offers that money up front, trust me, they're going to take that. They're not going to turn that person away. This is why a lot of persons, Dwight, in total honesty, have been flying under the radar for quite some time because the laws on the books that should have been preventing some of these things from happening, many people have been breaching the laws. There's no consequence in you breaching the law per se unless you are caught red-handed.
So who's the problem here? Who's the problem here? If you're going to do that?
It is the people, but then it also, Dwight, comes right back down to the law. There are some people who report these suspicious activities in some of these areas and suspect some of these people are building illegally, not according to the law. But yet, when you blow the whistle on some of these cases, there's no resolution to it, and you hear the Bahamian people complain about this stuff. So, like Bremen normally says, we need justice, law, and order to work in this country effectively in order for us to correct some of these situations that we address on a daily basis. My closing point is this. Some of these things are low-hanging fruits, and the longer we keep on lingering on these low-hanging fruits instead of getting rid of them, there's no way we're going to get to the more drastic major things in this country that needs our focus and attention. We're not going to get to it because we're still at the first rung of the ladder instead of being at the fifth or sixth rung of the ladder. We have to fix the country. That's my commentary for this morning. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, well, I mean, we've heard it before. I know that's going to frustrate a lot of people, but let's see if anything will come out of it. You know,
I mean, I think the point he was making was who received the notice, right? It must be the landowner, right?
I mean, you know, again, often the owner, as we've seen, is the government. Somebody was leasing,
right,
from the government,
right.
But
that person should receive.
Should it be? I mean, why? Who?
Because they have ownership of the land.
They don't have ownership. They've leased, and they're lucky they're
they
not.
They have
in jail.
carriage of the land.
They're lucky they're not in jail. And if
but I think that's the point he was making.
Yeah,
the point he was making was
it'll be Bahamians, a bunch of Bahamians. So right.
That's who cares?
Okay. Well, I guarantee you somebody will, because we want to say it's only the illegals who have done this.
No, you mean who are living on the land?
Right. What? Yes.
I'm talking about who has not ownership. No. Semantics.
I was going to say a terrible word, but forget them. Whoever's on these structures, you need to get out of here.
Yeah, that too.
What the leaseholder? Again, shut up or go to jail, because you've caused this.
Why should they shut up? Why don't they?
Then what do you have to say?
Why don't they just go to jail?
Okay, we could do that.
Yeah, but we're not doing it. We haven't done it.
But I mean, why are you bringing them up? Because I mean, they have no say in this. Look what you've done. You were supposed to be farming. This is supposed to be a farm. What are you farming?
Because the story says the notice, whoever was given the notice, has to tear down the structure, or it will be torn down, and they will be charged for the cost. So who is that?
Oh, well, that's an interesting point. Well, all of them have to figure it out, but it's going to happen.
All of them.
You sort it out, but and whoever has the name, the leaseholder, it'll probably be going to them. That bill.
But the thing is, we've talked about this. We've talked about prosecuting the people who either own the land or have leased the land and done the wrong thing with it. Mm-hmm. And again, here we are again, sending these people possibly notices to tear down structures, illegal structures,
right.
But nothing about prosecution.
Well, yeah. Well, that's an interesting point.
And that was the point he was making.
Right, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you know, these places have been like this for years. Mm-hmm. And this is all you're doing. Where's the justice, law? We got the order that's supposed to be coming.
An order, but is it order? Ordered. Yeah. And then, of course, 28 days gives the lawyers time to try to block some stuff, too.
Bye-bye.
So, right, here we go again. This texter is saying the same thing. My feelings are, here we go again, because we talk lots and accomplish very little in this country. This one says here, in the U.S., the current president's son is being charged with crimes. The former president, Trump, is before the courts. And in the Bahamas, wrong is rewarded. Well, I don't know if it's rewarded, but as Chester just said, no mention of prosecutions in this regard so far.
It's not rewarded. We just are nonchalant about these things.
Blind eyes are turned to certain things, yes. This person says, this is about reporters and the media here. The word is respect, not trust regarding the media. This is a shame, though, they're saying shame on Rolo if this is true. I mean, are you sure? She wanted to get the information before people just flew off and acted without thinking. I don't know, maybe it was...
I think they mean if she spoke to the author.
Oh, you mean that? Is that what you mean? Again, have you found out? There's no indication that she did.
I don't know.
This is just maybe hearsay and assumptions. We're trying to figure it out. This person says here, good morning. We, the citizens and residents and visitors of the Bahamas, deserve better beyond the opening of Parliament. Okay. Sure, definitely, we agree. Please, y'all, stop it. You know, when people try to be truthful with y'all, first thing happens is they get cut. CNN and other media are independent, not afraid of IRCA. You're very silly. You don't know what you're talking about. First of all, they don't have call-in shows with lunatics calling in to talk nonsense. So stop.
Who don't?
CNN and whoever they're talking
They don't?
about. No, they don't. And the FCC is very aggressive in many ways. So stop. Your truth is your opinion, hardly ever the truth. And often, even if it is true, it's not fit for the public airways. So
we need a Joe Rogan. We need a Joe Rogan.
Something on satellite radio, so you can talk your nonsense. Yeah, okay. So the truth, and oh my goodness gracious, I've seen this Shantytown demolishing movie so many times. I hate to spoil the ending.
Oh boy.
But at the last moment, a well-known lawyer will give a motion, and a judge will issue an injunction barring the government from acting for the next 20 years. 20 years.
You're so jaded.
It may not be at the last moment. It could be by the end of the week. But this person says, my lease ended and my landlord told me that she is not renewing because she's converting it to an Airbnb. Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Give us an idea of the price point there. How much were you paying so we can see what's going on?
We were kicked out of our apartment because they wanted to convert to an Airbnb.
Are you serious?
We were asked.
Yeah?
To find somewhere else to live.
Oh, no. You never told
I don't know if they converted to an Airbnb.
You think they just said that?
Maybe they were just like, y'all need to get out of here.
Wow. This person says, while the new minister's on this good effort, I hope he also gets on it in Eleuthera, which is really getting out of hand. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be several islands. Mm-hmm. This person says, what a tangled web we weave. Quite appropriate. Whenever this administration does anything, it seems, apart from the minister, which changed to magically empower the task force now to tackle shanty towns. They're wondering what changed. Okay, if nothing. Oh boy. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of this, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We know this needs to come to an end. This madness has gone on too long. It is dangerous.
It's dangerous. It's a strain on our resources.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan. Good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, there are some landlords that practice false advertisement. I have a friend who rented apartments, and they had posted internet and et cetera and all kinds of things, and when he reached that, they didn't have it, and the electricity was off. So maybe the government could look at that. And the price that he was paying, it was really ridiculous, about $850 or something like that for a place that a king-size bed could hardly fit in. But what I wanted to share on, Dwight, is the perpetual merry-go-round of BS, right? Firstly, my truths, well, my opinions, turned out to be truths during the pandemic. So, this is the text has a point, but I wanted to share this. There's an article in The Guardian from May 4th. CJ's orders, he said that this is the quotation from the CJ. There are other lawful means at which ministers' disposal to demolish premises. There's the Ian, right? So after you read the article, this is under they have legal parameters under the Building Regulations Act. So this perpetual merry-go-round of BS is very sickening for somebody like me. This really highlights, Dwight, where is the thought of national security? And we know that there is a problem at immigration. People are actually taking bribes to facilitate citizenship, work permits. We saw it. We are seeing it, Dwight. I live in the inner city, Dwight. There's too much strange people here. And it's a model of hate now that these people are producing in the country. And we are sitting back talking, and the country is sinking in a merry-go-round of BS. You have the Ian Wine, they're telling you there are other legal means in which the minister's disposal, but yet still we have been all of this different wrangling. How does that make one feel when we see the overwhelming of a certain demographic and they're allowed to get away with all type of BS? And now you're talking about demolishing $1 billion of Dwight, man, come on, man. People have to be blind. You know, this country could never get any better, Dwight, really and truly. And even you see during the pandemic, and even in Europe, they're calling for an accountability report on the pandemic protocol responses, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the first world countries where people require people with knowledge. See, it comes like, because we are post-slave ancestors, we just put up anything, Dwight. This is an inglorious country, Dwight. This is really an inglorious country, Dwight.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, they're trying to cover all the bases, it seems, right? They got all the ministries involved in handling this from many different angles. So trying to be as humane as possible, and maybe this might be the difference this time, right? This assistance, this facilitating the move, again, unlike previous attempts where you're out and that's your business, where they're trying to provide access or help find access for homes, alternative housing. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very tricky, but they're trying.
Everybody's doing it.
What? Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester. How you doing?
Doing
Good morning.
All right, Luby George this here, man.
Hey.
Morning.
Just wanted to add some insight based on what I would have heard from the previous caller as it pertains to irregular migration and efforts to stem the tide thereof. I don't know if people want the Department of Immigration to go live on every operation. Is that what they're expecting, for them to be on social media posting up all of their regular activities as it pertains to dealing with irregular migrants in the country? From where I sit, White, Chester, I can tell you that we've seen a great reduction in the amount of persons entering the country illegally, and also a heightened effort of repatriation exercises. You can speak to officials at the airport. You can speak to some of the local companies that run charter flights to Haiti and the Bahamas that uses the services of Pineapple Air, and they use the services of Southern Air also. Back and forth, and also, the government utilizes Bahamas Air. Since the government would have placed that moratorium or stoppage on first-time work permits for Haitian nationals sometime back in February, there's been a huge reduction in persons seeking to come to the Bahamas in any old fashion. We've seen a great reduction in the sloop activities coming into the Bahamas also. Immigration continues daily, nightly. They're moving around, going into restaurants, going into bars, knocking on doors. This happens every single day and almost every night. From where I sit, I'm in WhatsApp groups. You hear about it, you see about it. As a Bahamian, I'm pretty sure you've seen it somewhere around on WhatsApp or Facebook when the police has its roadblocks, where persons would talk about or post and be like, okay, look out, roadblock is on XYZ corner or this street or that street. So that persons who are, probably moving around in unregulated vehicles, they can, watch out, right? So the same happens in migrant communities. If something is happening, people be like, oh boy, we just saw the boys in green this way or that way. It happens. And so we know for a fact that immigration is doing their part. They're moving around and they're making the necessary checks. They are arresting. They are repatriating. They're not issuing work permits, like candy, as persons would think it is happening. In fact, they've tightened up everything as it pertains to work permits, especially for Haitian migrants, so much so that even persons who have been on work permits for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I know of an individual who's been on work permits now for 17 years, who placed in a renewal. Same employer placed in a renewal, and his renewal took nearly 6 months to get it back because they're trying to do things, as I understand, the right way. Is it perfect? Nope. But we can definitely see the efforts that the Department of Immigration and the government is making to try to deal with what we call the vexing issue of irregular migrants and persons entering and staying in the country illegally.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Right.
But I don't know if persons, because of where they sit, You know, you move around, you go to work, you come home, you hang out with your family, you go to your church services, you watch the news, whether it be local or international. You just don't get to see what the Department of Immigration is doing. I don't know if they want them to have some platform or posting videos and trying to go viral so to appease to these people.
Yeah.
I don't know what do they want. How will you see it? How will it be announced to you? But they are doing their job, and persons from the migrant community or those connected or tied to the migrant community can see the effects of the efforts of the Department of Immigration. And I say kudos to them. The only issue I have is the constant claims of abuse and stealing that persons are allegedly saying that they're doing when they enter their homes. That's it.
All right, Luby, thank you very much. I'm curious, though, if why would that person be applying so often for work permits? I mean, at this point, why not just get residency, apply for that? What's that about? Do you know?
You can't apply for residency now. Don't forget that there are certain policies as it pertains to permanent residency, right? Depending on the scale of work permit that the individual would be on. The law or the policy actually speaks to having 19 or 20 consecutive work permits. Now, it doesn't stop an individual, let's say, from applying from around 8 to 9 to 10. The only difference will be the amount of money that they would have to pay or what they would be charged should that permanent residency be approved. Okay. And so when they look at the amount of money that would have to be paid in one lump sum, there's no payment plan type of system that persons can go through at the Department of Immigration. When they look at that, you know, based on the salaries that they're receiving, they may not be able to accommodate the fees, and so persons continue to move forward with the work permit.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Have been seeing more videos. I don't know if you see them, Chester, of raids and lots of you haven't? Lots and lots and lots of people being taken away. Like lots of people at one establishment. It's just Anyway, we're gonna take a break. We'll pick this up on the other side of the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Oh, I like Gombe Punch. Oh, I like Sky Juice. Yeah, I like Johnny K. Yeah, where my fish do, but I don't need all that burn. That don't make a soup. Yeah, I like the beach, but I don't go in water. I just go to profile with somebody daughter. I like to go down.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And we've got your traffic, your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Start your home journey with an RBC mortgage today. All right, so it is the opening of Parliament and the speech from the throne today. And that means some traffic diversions, road closures, a lot to keep in mind for today. Again, the simple response to you is to avoid downtown if you don't need to be there. But road closures beginning today, 7 o'clock, as of 7 o'clock this morning, until after the ceremony, these streets are all closed to vehicular traffic. Bay Street between Frederick Street and East Street. Charlotte Street between Shirley Street and Woods Rogers Walk. Parliament Street between Woods Rogers Walk and Shirley Street. And so there again going to be a number of diversions in the area. Keep that in mind, and limited parking. So that is definitely not the place to be this morning. We'll have your real-time traffic coming up after the 8 o'clock news, but this morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with RBC today. We'll be back after the news. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:18, it is time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by First Online Insurance. First Online Insurance powered by Bahamas First. At firstonlineinsurance.com, you can choose your agent, get a quote, and buy your home or auto insurance 100% online. firstonlineinsurance.com. All right, so here is what's happening. We've got residual troughing associated with the dissipating frontal boundary. That's going to continue to enhance shower and thunderstorm activity, mainly across the central and southeastern islands. Meanwhile, a relatively tight pressure gradient will maintain a moderate breeze over the islands. Boaters should be alert for possible waterspout activity. Flash flooding is possible in flood-prone and low-lying areas during heavy or prolonged rainfall events. And beachgoers should exercise caution along Atlantic-exposed shorelines due to possible rip currents. So your forecast for today for the Northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy and a bit breezy with a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, becoming fair and mild at night with a stray shower or two possible. Elsewhere in the country, expect variable cloudiness and humid conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming mostly cloudy with stray showers likely tonight. Temperature-wise today, look for highs getting up to around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In your extended outlook, we've got a relatively drier air mass expected. That's going to reduce rain chances in the northwest and portions of the central Bahamas over the next few days, while troughing and available moisture will continue to produce showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern islands. Then the current pressure pattern across the area will begin to weaken, and that's going to support some gentle to light breezes. So for Thursday, that's tomorrow, expect a mix of sun and clouds and scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming mostly fair and mild at night. Friday, partly cloudy to partly sunny with a few isolated showers, becoming fair and mild at night, but it should be a pretty good day for boating. In the tropics, Tropical Storm Philippe. Philippe is, in fact, causing some issues for parts of the Caribbean. Philippe remains disorganized, though, as it moves slowly northeastwards, but heavy rains and flash flooding continues across portions of the British and U.S. Virgin Islands. It is expected to make that turn, though, and head out into the Atlantic. But as of 5 o'clock this morning, Philippe was about 150 miles north-northeast of St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, or 815 miles south of Bermuda. Philippe is moving toward the northwest near 9 miles per hour, and a turn toward the north-northwest is forecast later today, followed by a faster motion toward the north on Thursday and Friday. On the forecast track, the center of Philippe will continue to move away from Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands today, and then approach Bermuda Thursday night and Friday. Maximum sustained winds remain near 45 miles per hour with higher gusts. A little change in strength is forecast during the next day or so. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation unexpected, or tropical cyclone formation unexpected. That's your morning blend weather check. This weather check also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Feel the power of the electric revolution. Swing by Easy Car Sales for a test drive in an electric vehicle. It's a ride you won't forget. Visit easy242.com and see where an electric future can take you. Time for the check of your traffic, brought to you by RBC. Start your home journey with an RBC mortgage today. All right, so as we said, I've been telling you the opening of Parliament today is going to result in road closures. That's already begun as of 7 o'clock this morning, and that's going to continue until after the ceremony. Bay Street between Frederick Street and East Streets closed to all vehicular traffic. So is Charlotte Street between Shirley Street and Woods Rogers Walk, and Parliament Street between Woods Rogers Walk and Shirley Street. So again, if you don't need to be downtown today, definitely should avoid the area. In your real-time traffic right now, we're seeing heavy traffic on East Street and from Bamboo Boulevard straight up to about Robinson Road, really, and then things pick up again. North of Wolf Road, straight into the downtown area. Excuse me. Also on Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic from about St. Vincent straight up to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Elsewhere, we've got heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway and into the Six-Legged roundabout. And you're going to see many issues there, northbound, eastbound on JFK Drive, southbound on Providence Highway, and even Farrington Road's southwestbound as well. And Gladstone Road, heavy traffic well south of the Fire Trail intersection, straight up to John F. Kennedy Drive. Issues also on Carmichael Road, westbound to Coral Harbor Road, heavy traffic there. And on Eastern Road from just east of Fox Hill straight up to Johnson Road. And the major intersections along Prince Charles Drive. Bernard Road also busy for you near the schools. That's real-time traffic in your Morning Blend Traffic Alert. Brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with RBC today.
For your first or new home, or even using your existing home as equity, RBC understands that your journey to home ownership is unique, and your mortgage financing should reflect that. That is why at RBC, we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Prevention and control of dengue fever in the Bahamas will depend on how well we can together eliminate the mosquitoes that carry the virus and their water breeding sites. This is a community effort. Every week and after rainfall, check your yard for items that hold water, tip and turn or remove. Talk to your neighbors and encourage them to inspect their yards as well. Check inside your home for places where mosquitoes can get in or breed. Use an indoor insect repellent safely to help destroy mosquitoes. Fight the bite. Do your part to protect you and your family from dengue fever. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Wake up, it's a new day.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans. Available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack and don't you pump gas no more.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bowls, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Wherever you are in the world, Cleveland Clinic's world-class care is here for you. From Ohio to Florida to London, Cleveland Clinic treats thousands of patients every year. Ranked #2 in the world by Newsweek, you can trust our caregivers to enhance your experience across each step of your treatment journey. For every care in the world, learn more at clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us, so call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Yeah, man. He look like how you own your own things. I tired of paying the rent, man. Let's go. To get this done real estate, now it will mean a lot. There's so much I can do with that same little spot. Whatever is the cost, I would not hesitate. Now wouldn't it be great to get piece of that real estate? Listen here, miss, I heard you selling, I want buy piece of your land. I ain't got much money, I's a hard-working man. You got the property, and I like just what I see. So could you ease up on that price just for me?
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning. Wow. Okay, coming up in a few minutes, we are going to be talking about MAP. It's a special program, Mammogram Access Program. We're going to get the details about that. And later in business, we're talking about the Access Accelerator. A lot of trade shows, a lot of trade missions happening. And we're going to find out some details about that. A lot to get to. But we continue just for now with your response to the big story in the papers today about the shanty towns. The government giving owners 28 days to demolish the structures, getting a reaction to it. A lot of people very skeptical based on the fact that we've seen these headlines so frequently before. Yeah. And yet we are here with people saying that there are more and more of these structures going up weekly. Yeah. And so they're not really encouraged by this. But the government does seem to be going about this in a different way and in a more, I guess, humane way, some might say. And so this could be, people are hoping, some are hoping, but not many on our text line and not the callers so far. This could be the difference.
Yeah. Also, about the Bankman-Fried story. So the book does suggest that, also the direct quote suggests that he spoke directly to Christina Roll.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But did you get down to this paragraph that says, on that Friday, Lewis said Roll grilled Bankman-Fried for several hours? And then the next sentence, her assistant, who had observed the questioning, according to Lewis, tearfully pleaded with Roll not to have Bankman-Fried arrested.
What now? Where is this?
Huh? Right there above your head.
Roll froze FTX's assets the day after the call, putting the company into liquidation. And on that Friday, Lewis said Roll grilled Bankman-Fried for several hours. Her assistant would observe the questioning. According to Lewis, tearfully pleaded with Roll not to have Bankman-Fried arrested. Lewis, quote, Roll hadn't. She'd persuaded the police to take away Sam's and Gary's passports instead.
And Gary still skipped town.
While Roll had planned to interview Wang on the following Monday, he left the country before that could happen. Though his passport had been confiscated by Bahamian police, Wang was able to leave with the help of his lawyer, who arranged with U.S. authorities to secure a second passport. What now? So that they might smuggle him back to the United States before the government of the Bahamas knew what happened. The government. The United States government. Wow. But what's with the tearfully pleading? What's that about?
What's that about?
Tearfully? Is there a different meaning, a second meaning to tearfully?
What kind of grill was that? They're cutting onions for that grill? What's going on there?
Tearfully pleaded with her.
Pleading.
For SBF?
For SBF.
What?
You got to read the story, guys. Pick up the Nassau Guardian.
Now we're also going to have to buy this book.
Yeah.
Do we name who the is the assistant named? Because I think we'd like to know who that
the
is.
assistant's, well, it's not named in the story. The assistant's not named in the story.
Okay, well,
Who is
I want
the
to know who that is. Will you cry for me? Would you cry for you, Chester?
Don't cry for me, crypto goddess.
Whoa. Okay, interesting. All right, so we're talking about all of this. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325 tearfully 325-4259.
Can I just air my frustrations about this kind of thing? You know, I always say that there's never going to be a Bahamian journalist that wins a Pulitzer Prize. You know why? Because we don't get this kind of access.
Okay, right. What? Oh, because you don't. Right,
Wow.
right. You're right. Yeah, exactly.
Because we
No
never
one's gonna
get this
talk.
kind of
Right.
access. We wouldn't get those kinds of quotes. They won't tell you those kinds of things. Only foreign journalists get those kinds of things. And you could guess why.
I have some theories, but what do you think it is?
It's because
they don't have
they
to
become
see-
higher profile people when they speak to these people.
You think that's what it is?
Of course.
I mean, I think they won't have to see in the supermarket.
If someone sees my name in the New York Times, they'll be like, "Ooh, Chester Robots."
No, but many of these people aren't anybody until they write the book either. So,
But that's okay.
No, I think the people here don't want to run into you at the Christmas party or
Yeah, but we have
the
access.
festival.
But we have access to this information. So
Yeah, they're not going to talk.
you're
to
still
you.
going to run into me.
You come around the supermarket with your trolley and bump into them like, oh boy, hi, nervousness and.
Okay, but now I've read. Is it going to be better or worse?
They don't care.
And if they don't care, then what's the problem?
Yeah. The phone lines are all lit up. Let's go to the lines. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, I just want to give my take on this shantytown eradication issue. Hopefully, this minister in particular would address this long, vexing problem, you know, because it's very unfair to the taxpayers of this country, including myself, you know, who pay our equal share, and you find person living in these substandard conditions, you know, it has a lot of adverse effects to it in terms of health, etc. But the bottom line is they need to pay their fair share because it's a great disadvantage. You could imagine 80% of Bahamian salaries going on bills and utilities, and 80% of theirs are being saved and being exported out of the country to help only God knows where it's going to. That is totally unfair. That is why Bahamians are at such a big disadvantage, not to mention that, or not to discount the fact that some of us mess up our monies. But the bottom line is many hard-working Bahamians are trying every single day to make ends meet, but they have the high cost of living in the Bahamas that they have to live up to. You know, apartments, you're talking about apartments are to the roof. So these people are going to live $40, $50 a week, and in some cases, and be connected to these illegal utilities. What else you expect? Why do you think they are moving far ahead of us? And another thing too, we have to look at these persons who are occupying prime land on Cowpen Road and are not doing any farming. I had the opportunity to stop there one day, and the lady told me, you know, so I asked them, I said, do you all grow these things in the back of where you all live? They said, no, that we import these things. I said, and you all are living on all this prime land? The lady told me straight up, we have plenty of land, we just don't know what to do with it in the Bahamas. But that is a problem that needs to be addressed. If it's going to be for farm, and then that's exactly what it should be. Why have people living here at the disadvantage of Bahamians moving ahead economically, and we are struggling to make ends meet? That just can't work, and this should be a hot button election issue going forward until we correct this vexing problem. Then on the other hand, just on another point with FTX, I thank God that FTX is exposed for who they are, because when you look at the amount of mass money that Fred Bankman-Fried or whatever his name is had, you could imagine, Dwight, the amount of money is, because they had already started. These lawyers would have made from conveyances and legal fees. They would have tried to exhaust all of that money in the Bahamas on real estate. And there would have been no more land for nobody in this country. Because he would have owned all. So God bless the Bahamas, and I'm happy. And let the chips fall where they may, please, for one. Let the chips fall where they may. Because I have no horse to do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take these calls really quickly. You don't have much time. Good morning. You're on the air. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. You're on the air. Okay. Let's take this one. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. What's happening? Hi. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, Dwight. How you doing? Seattle and Johnson.
Hi.
A couple of points. First, on the FTX issue, I hope that we actually take into consideration that, where they say one thing in the book, they said one thing in the book and other things where you say is untrue, but everything else is true. We'd have to consider that why would he lie on one part and tell the truth on another? And I think that we have to examine this FTX to see its impact on the economics of the Bahamas going forward, because we keep reiterating this digital and this the so-called fintech and regulatory tech and supervisory tech, etc. And there has been some huge impact and well into the future, as well as this is well integrated in this trial, as well as the bankruptcy is well integrated into our governance. That is definitely going to have a fiscal impact on us. But I want to come back to this primary thing of this, where Louis George called in. I would like for him to be able to not tell me what he's seen and observed, to provide the evidence to support his position that there is no increase of transit. I don't know unless there's a public schedule of illegal departures, disembarkment and embarkments, where the effect that the population has grown in relation to the unregulated people, et cetera, et cetera. What you think, what you feel, and what you believe is totally different than what could be substantiated to come what is known. But let me tell you why the government is not going to do anything. There is no policy position that's been addressed for land. And like Cleaver Duncombe just said, if you had an issue with land, the government has full 100% authority over its crown land, including those for farming. And when you violate the lease, the government in its most immediate can take possession of all those land. In government taking possession of those land, anything that is built and attached to those land becomes the property of government. Government need not seek the court's permission to break down what it's theirs. There's no policy for social housing, low-cost housing, attainable housing, affordable housing. None. We keep getting lip service about how government is building houses. Building houses for who and for what? I mean, yes, you go and build a few houses and then give certain individuals mortgages. That's not a strategy for building housing. Housing is a strategy so even the private sector and incentives and things to move in. We already said that we were almost, 80,000, 90,000 houses behind, need to build 2,500 houses a year to keep pace. Where's the strategy to actually accelerate? That is happening. We bragging about the increase in bed and breakfast, etc. If there's no increase in housing, but there's an increase in short-term rentals, it can only mean one is cannibalizing the other. Where's the digital ID system for the Bahamas? Where's digitization of the passport office so we could look at current, future, and past behavior? Where's the policy for restriction of work permits as well as the citizenship for equitable distribution, where we begin to encourage people who is bringing particular skills for the economic development of the country, rather than a concentration from a particular demographics with no significant work skill. I mean, we have, 7,000 people on work permits. I'm just guessing, like the way I guess Lobby did, for farming, and the farms are not operational in that respect.
All right.
We have people out of context and everything else. And so, I hope today the government give us more than this lip service, because they seem to be cemented in the past and deny us of the future.
Okay, thank you very much, Alan. And one final call on this. Let's take that. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi, yes, good morning.
Hi. This is Debbie Deal.
Hi, Debbie.
I think what I'd like to start with is let's forget who is actually doing it. Let's forget who is building on these properties, who owns the properties, and all of that. Let's go with what the actual laws are. So the main thing is, as a contractor, I have to have a building permit to build. These dwellings do not have building permits. You must have an occupancy certificate to be able to have BPL attached to your house. These buildings do not have that. So if we have laws on the books, it doesn't matter what country you've come from, it doesn't matter who owns the property, it doesn't matter any of those things. If you don't have a building permit, you can't do any of those two things. And that's the main thing. The next thing is, if you're building on somebody else's property as a contractor, I think I've told you this before, if I build on the wrong piece of property and I go to apply for a permit, which of course no one has done, and I built this building, there's a negotiation that has to happen. I either have to negotiate with the owner of the actual property, as in, we really don't want to take this building down, but could I maybe trade you a piece of property, let's say in Lyford Key or somewhere, so that it would have value, or whatever the actual thing is. Because there was a gas station built on Carmichael Road back 26 years ago where they weren't able to negotiate properly, and they had to close out the building. So there's laws on the books. So everybody's all excited about, these are foreigners that come in, or these are Bahamians that don't have enough money and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate that and I understand that. I've been in that situation myself many years ago. Never want to be there again. But there's laws that are in place. There's no sense in us as contractors having to abide by the laws and having to jump through all the hoops you have to do when you're building a project. And for other people to just not obey the laws.
Right.
So yes, fines or jail time.
Yeah.
Needs to be done for persons that have built illegally. I don't care if you're from Mars. If you build a house or a commercial building or anything illegally, then you need to be fined or go to jail. And the next thing is, during COVID, over 300 acres of our pine barrens were demolished. That is a carbon sink that the Prime Minister had to use as a trade to get money for us as a country to give us funds for adaptation and mitigation of climate change. But we no longer have that. That's also our aquifer, which is what filters our water and gives us fresh water lens. So many countries don't even have fresh water. People don't seem to understand when you cut down a tree the effect that it actually has.
Yeah.
And again, it's illegal. You've got the Forestry Act. You've got the Amended Forestry Act. You've got the Subdivision Act. We've got more laws on the books. It doesn't matter if you're from Mars. If you have built something and you don't have a permit to show for it, and you don't have a permit, an occupancy certificate to get BPL and water and sewage, that's illegal.
Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you very much. That's the only way people can take things seriously, right? If they face the consequences. If there are consequences, that's definitely. A couple messages. We go to the break. The person says here, I was asked to leave my apartment as well. Lease not renewed. She noted that she is moving the property in another direction. I lived off West Bay Street, one bed apartment. Everybody's going to Airbnb. Airbnb-ing our rental market into non-existence. And will somebody have to step in to stop it? Is that possible? Can that happen? Or this is your property, this is your right?
I think
what are we going to do?
New York is writing law.
Yeah,
I think to stop it.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Somebody's asking about us on TuneIn. I don't know about TuneIn, but you can listen to us on our app, our own app, and on our website, and on 96.9, of course, and on Cable and Flow. But we got to go to the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio. Stay with us.
In the song, land prices high. How can I afford that? I barely getting by. I became she surveyor. I laid down the stake. She made me she contractor. I dig up she place. She showed me her land. She showed me she deeds. She tell me what she wanted, gave she what she need. Oh yes, I got straight. Didn't spend a cent. It's good when you got your own land, cause I tired paying rent. Oh, yes man. See it with me a lot. There's so much I can do with that scene. See my brother, you got that little piece, man, not the big one. No, sir, I don't need them holding. Give me the little piece. Listen here, come on, watch this. Yes. You get this on real estate. Now it with me. Oh no, there's so much I can do. Oh, look here. What's the cost, man? I hesitate now. Yes, man! You get this real estate. Now it will mean a lot. There's so much I can do. There's so much I can do.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. Okay, some other people saying, I'm listening to you right now on TuneIn, you're good. So I don't know what issue you were having, the other texter. But anyway. Okay, but again, there's the app and there's radio, there's online, there's many different ways. And even the communications companies' apps, you can listen to us through them as well. All right, so we're changing gears now. It's called MAP Grand Bahama, and that's Mammography Access Program. The founder is with us this morning, Nakia Watson. Great to have you with us. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to all your listeners.
And you're in from Grand Bahama.
Yes.
So welcome. Yes. Tell us about it, MAP Grand Bahama. How did this get started?
Well, we came about shortly after Hurricane Dorian. Whilst we were in lockdown, Grammy say idle hands. I had a lot of time on my hands, so I set up the organization in lockdown, and we rolled out the opening in October of 2021 when we were seesawing between opening up and locking down. And so all of our patients, we booked them over the phone. Yeah. So that's how we initially got started. In our first year, we screened 107 women. I don't know how we did it, but we got it done. This is only our second year. 2023 is only our second year. We were able to double that at 223 women. And now we're going into our third year, 2024, and that started October 1st. That's the start of our year. That's our new year. And we are looking to screen 500 women.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. So, okay, paint a picture for us. Before this, you mentioned Dorian. Before you started, what was happening? Were people not getting screened? Did Dorian prevent people from going to get screened? Was that the bottom of the priority list at the time?
Well, full disclosure time. I am a trained mammographer.
Okay.
Certified under the AART.
Excellent.
I've been working as a mammographer in Grand Bahama now for 12 years. As a radiographer, 16 years. I'm no longer employed. I don't actually do that work now. I focus 100% on this organization.
Oh, wow.
Because as during my work, when I was doing my work, I noticed that every time we got hit by a hurricane, the screening rate would drop.
Oh, my goodness.
All right? When I started in 2003, okay? Now, in the year 2000, we were doing about 2,000 women in the public sector. All right? I wasn't there in 2000, but you can see the work is clearly on the shelf.
Right.
All right? So we were doing around 2,000 women in the year 2000. The 2003 came about, and we had Francis and Jane, a 1-2 punch, and the rate dropped. Okay? And so we had what? Let's say we had Sandy, we had Wilma, we had Matthew. And every time we get hit, there's a pause, there's a time of reconstruction and rebuilding, and then trying to figure out what this new normal is going to be. And then there's always a drop, but it is a struggle to try and recover.
Right.
So you find people take their focus off.
They take their focus off. We're trying to rebuild our homes. We're trying to find food. We're trying to get the power on, the roads clear, the economy back up and running.
Yeah.
Okay? There's so much on your plate. This is not high on the priority.
Yeah.
Okay? And then once everything comes back online, now you have to reassess your finances. Okay? And so sometimes, most times, women tend to leave that off of the list.
Yeah.
And by that time, you could have had a problem growing.
You could have had a problem growing. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why our average stage of diagnosis is a stage 3, stage 4. Because we leave it for the last thing until it's a problem. If it's not giving me a problem, then I don't need to invest in that right now. I have other things to deal with. Getting my children back in school. And studies have shown that houses are being led by mothers, by women. All right? So now, you have a woman, she's working, she's taking care of the household. Now she feels a lump. She has an issue. What happens to the dependents? What happens to the home? These are all things that we are trying to help. And the only way we can help is on that foundational level, which is screening, diagnostics. We're trying to encourage women to come out early, come out often, as prescribed by your doctor.
So how have you been doing it? Tell us what your approach is to these women.
Well, we started with our screening program because we thought that was the most pressing thing, just trying to get women out. And I did many of these in my opening year in 2021. Just go on the radio and say, we want to help you. And women would just call into my phone. But in 2022, we started our patient education program, and we did that in partnership with Know Your Lemons. Our strategic imperative is this: awareness plus access equals early detection. So we have to marry the education with the access in order to get the result that we want.
You mentioned the finances, so are you assisting with that as well, or what about that part?
We do, and it is a struggle. It is a struggle. We do sponsor women who are in need. And once the economy and everything was fully opened, and the RAN was back online, and the public facilities were back online, we shifted our focus. So now we wanted to do targeted screening exercise that focused and targeted women who are most in need. And so we started our 2022 campaign with screening 50 women from the kidney center because their NHI doctor reached out and said, I haven't had any screenings for my ladies since Hurricane Dorian. We thought that to be a priority because they need to have these tests done in order to have their annual physicals complete.
Wow.
Okay, so we started there. And then we shifted our focus to the ladies of East End. Now, you would recall they were heavily impacted by Dorian. And then COVID-19 halted all of their recovery efforts. A lot of them were still living under very challenging conditions. And so we screened 100 women out of East End with the help of the East End Constituency Office and Doctors Hospital.
Right. That's wonderful.
And then later on in the year, we focused our attention on disabled women. And we did that in partnership with the Ministry of Social Services and Aaron Brown Connects. We can't do anything without partnerships. All right? We can't do anything without partnerships. And I rarely know the women who I'm screening. I don't have to know you. I get the names from those who are most in contact with you, and they tell me your need, and then we just arrange everything. And we try to educate women and screen.
So it is MAP Grand Bahama, but this is bigger than Grand Bahama.
It's bigger than Grand Bahama. We really want to focus on the Northern Bahamas. We've been trying very hard to get to Abaco. We have that on our agenda for 2024. Of course, everything is predicated on funding and partnerships. Everything. We're willing to do the work.
What does that require to get to another island? Do you have to carry equipment and stuff?
Well, I am in talks with a clinic over in Abaco. They're looking to put their mammogram services back online.
Okay.
As soon as that's done, then we'll be able to roll it out.
Back online?
Yes.
The hurricane?
Since the hurricane. So the ladies in Abaco.
place on Abaco?
The ladies on Abaco have not had screening since Dorian. And I used to work in Abaco out of a facility called Oscar. And Dorian just took that machine and threw it into the ocean.
Oh, my goodness.
So since then, I haven't been able to actually physically go to Abaco and do screening. So they've been very much on my mind. That's not to say we haven't screened women from Abaco.
Right.
There have been women who have called in from Abaco. They say, look, I'm coming into town. Can you help me out with the screening? And of course, once we have the funding there, we get them sorted out.
And they come to Freeport.
And they come to Freeport and they do all their medical checks. Keep in mind, Grand Bahama is supposed to supply the screening, the needs, the healthcare needs of the Northern Bahamas to take pressure off of PMH.
Right.
All right? So, yes, we want to service the Northern Bahamas. I've been on boats, hopped on boats, going to the Keys, and then educational sessions. And if they need help, once they can get to Grand Bahama, we sort them out.
Excellent. All right. So, the Dorian and equipment on Grand Bahama, how was that impacted? Not like Abaco.
Not like Abaco.
Okay.
Now, we did have significant damage at the Rand Memorial Hospital, but that machine was not impacted.
Okay.
All right. So right now we currently have 2 machines working on the island, one at Lucaia Medical and one at Rand Memorial Hospital.
Wow.
And so we shuffled between the 2.
What have you been finding in terms of detection rates?
Well, I've been finding that this is what's really alarming to me is that women who are under the age of 40, they're equally as impacted as those who are over 40. I'm dealing with a lot of women in their 30s. A lot of women in their 30s. I find that to be most alarming. And one of the initiatives that we have going on this year is a fundraising initiative. I designed this whole campaign. It's called the Battle of the Bra. And it's a competition between Mammogram Access Program, the GB Cancer Society, and Sister Freeport.
Okay.
All right. I designed this to catch the attention of women who are under 40. I wanted to do something new, something out of the box, not your typical go get screened kind of campaign, because I want women to get into the habit of actually doing those self-breast exams. No, you don't fall within the guidelines for regular screening, but you are responsible for your overall breast health. So I need you to know what's normal for you. Take inventory of what's going on with your breast. And anytime there's anything out of the normal, then reach out, go to your doctor, get that physical done. And then they will decide what is the best course of action for you in order to detect whatever is going on with you.
So based on that, I mean, how early should you start? I mean,
The guidelines are still 40 and over. Okay? But that's not to say if someone who's 35 is no longer a screening mammogram, it may be a diagnostic mammogram. They may decide to go straight to ultrasound. There are many things that can be done in order to find out what is going on with your breast.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. We don't have that much time left, but what can we do to help? What can people outside of Grand Bahama, what can everybody in the country do to help groups like yours and other women?
Well, that's what the Battle of the Bra is all about. It's about helping us raise the funds in order to fund our initiatives for 2024. You can go on to our event page on Facebook, Battle of the Bra. All the bras are posted there. You can pick the one that you want. Our sponsor is Canoe. So you can vote online using a credit or debit card. If you have a Canoe wallet, you can use funds from your Canoe wallet and you can vote for us. Each vote costs $5. It's not a lot of money. Speaking personally for Mammogram Access Program, I'm finding very hard. I'm finding out that MAP is kind of an orphan. Cancer Society and Sister, they have parents here in Nassau. We're an orphan domiciled in Grand Bahama, yes. But we are appealing to all of the Bahamas to support this initiative. This is a program that I would like to see rolled out throughout the Bahamas. You never know when an island south of us is going to be hit and they're going to need this kind of assistance. So please support. That's what I'm asking. Go to our event page. You can see all the bras. You can go to MAP Grand Bahama to see all of the work that we've done so far. Everything is posted right there. Or you can go to our YouTube channel, MAP Access. You can see our work posted there. Or you can go to our website, which is map-bahamas.com.
Yeah, I'm seeing the photo shoot that you had. These are cancer survivors.
Yes.
Yeah,
they beautiful. Are all MAP patients. And I want to thank Bahari for making that possible. They're struggling right now, you know. Losing your hair and all of those things and being nauseous in the morning. It was a nice gesture that they did to make them feel good. It was a wonderful day.
Wow.
So check out the page. Everything is posted there. Everything I do, I make sure I post there so that my donors know what I'm doing with the funds. Not only that, we can attract other women to the organization that possibly may need help and to appeal to people who are companies that may want to be a donor or want to come in partnership with us. So everything is there.
Is that your logo on your shirt?
Oh, no.
On your shirt?
This is my logo on my shirt.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my logo on my shirt. You see it looks like a little
cool.
angel?
It's like an angel, yeah.
Yes.
But I see the M and the A and the P.
You see it?
Yeah.
Most people don't get that.
Maybe it's my brain.
I don't see the P.
Most people don't get. You'll explain to him. When I designed it, I tried to make sure that MAP
he draws cars. That's why you don't.
Right. Why is the A? It's nice.
You see
it's
it.
Nice. Yeah, but
You
I don't
see
see
it.
the P.
Most people don't get that.
Yeah, it's creative. Somebody designed it locally?
No.
Oh, that's all right. It's nice. It's really nice.
All right. So your appeal to women out there who like, yeah, it's true. I'm not thinking it. It's been a while since I had a mammogram. I got other priorities. I can't find the money right now. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, you can't pour from an empty cup. Okay? You have to take care of yourself so that you can be there for your family, especially the women who are the primary household breadwinners in their household. I want you to take care of yourself. You have to make yourself a priority. For those women who are not falling within that screening guidelines, that's the screening age of 40, still, you have a responsibility. Check your breast. Take an inventory of your breast. If there's anything out of the normal, go to your doctor. You can go on to our Facebook page. We have the 12 signs of breast cancer posted there. You can go there and you can get yourself familiar with those 12 signs. You see any one of those signs, go to your doctor. Do not take it for granted.
Okay. Yeah. Nikia Watson, You said you were nervous. I don't understand.
No.
What were you talking about?
nervous.
You're fantastic.
Well,
You're great.
This is a necessary evil.
That's when you
of the
know your
job.
stuff.
Right? You're
That's
a
when you know your
great
stuff.
guest. I wish you had more time. Mammogram Access Program, MAP, Grand Bahama, Nakia, thank you. Keep up the great
up
work.
the
Keep
good
us
work,
posted.
yeah.
Keep us posted.
Yes.
We'd love to talk with you again. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break for news and then be back with a whole lot more. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning it's time for our twice monthly segment, our series with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. And we've got a lot to talk about this morning. We've got a two-parter this morning guiding us through it all. We're very pleased to have with us Corporate Communications Manager Michaela Munnings. Good morning.
Good morning.
Always great to see you.
Yes, always a pleasure to be here.
Hope all is well with you. All right, so the first part, we're going to be talking about a special trade mission. And we've got from the Bahamas Trade Commission, we've got Ian Cargill.
Yes.
And from the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, we've got Executive Director Kamisha Blake and Treasurer Robert Scott.
Yes, so they're joining us virtually.
Good morning, everybody. Great to have you with us.
Hi, good morning. Very happy to be on.
Good morning. Good morning to those in the Bahamas and abroad. Thank you, Mr. Strachan and Guardian Radio for hosting us. We have some exciting news to share with you to start your morning.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great to hear it. Great to hear it. All right. So, Michael, you want to start us off and then we can get into it?
Yeah, so today's show, I think, for both segments is going to be focusing on strategic partnerships, right? So the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, so we're going to call them JMEA, and the Bahamas Trade Commission, and of course the SPDC, we have partnered to do a Jamaica trade mission to the Bahamas. So we're going to have a delegation of over 30 persons from different industries, different products, services, bringing those ideas, samples of those products to Bahamian vendors, retailers, wholesalers, to showcase those products and try to get them into the local market, and then we can do, an even exchange. And so we thought to have a mission whereby we go from an actual ceremony, a launch event, an expo, and then taking them into the wider market to see the possibilities and have these conversations with the various businesses.
Okay, when is that going to be?
So that's next week.
Next week.
Next week. They are coming in next week, Monday, and from Tuesday to Thursday, we have a full 3 days of activities from the opening ceremony and leading on to business meetings and an expo that the public is more than welcome to come to.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll get some more details about that in just a bit.
Yes.
But let's talk about trade right now between the Bahamas and Jamaica. Ian Carr with the Bahamas Trade Commission. Can are there numbers? Can you tell us how much trade do we do right now?
Thank you, Mr. Strachan. Well, there's a very good relationship between the Bahamas and Jamaica. And actually, Mr. Scott, who is with us today, I believe, was a part of the last mission to the Bahamas with then Jam Pro. And so we have a very fortified relationship between the two nations where we, on a regular basis, facilitate mutually advantageous and profitable relationships and ventures. Regarding the numbers, I believe we do export more to Jamaica. However, we're looking to bring opportunity to the business public here in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You say we export more to Jamaica, or they export more to the Bahamas?
We export more to Jamaica. I believe, though, it is refined petroleum. And then second, used boats.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That's quite fascinating there.
Yeah.
All right. So, Robert Scott, Kamisha Blake, let's talk about it. From your perspective, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, we do see quite a few products here from Jamaica. But tell us about the association, what it comprises, who's made up of it, and the work that you do.
All right, so the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, we are a business development organization. Over 76 years in existence, we provide technical support, advocacy, and especially we promote Brand Jamaica. We have over 600 companies, primarily exporters and manufacturers, and our main mandate is actually to get more manufacturers in Jamaica export friendly. So this is why this trade mission is extremely important to us, because while we produce very good quality goods here in Jamaica, it's important for us to find external markets.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said 76 years. I mean, that's a long time. And you have quite a few companies and firms, I'm sure, who are adapted at the export market. How much more growing is there to do? I mean, it sounds like you have a lot in the pipeline.
Well, we have exported almost $1 billion or so, no, $1 million US in goods since the start of the year. And when we speak about Jamaican products, we're talking about red stripe beer, Appleton rum, Walker's Wood, jerk spices. So we have high quality products that continues to be demanded globally. So it's a matter as to capacity, which we have been doing quite a bit of investment in local manufacturing, large plants such as Red Stripe or Jerry and Nephew that produces, rum. They have been doing extensive capacity building. They have been putting a lot to expand their plants. So we're looking to have greater level of exports coming out of Jamaica.
Yeah. I had some really great chocolate from Jamaica very recently.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing chocolate. But what do you think? Have you kind of identified some products or even services that are low-hanging fruit for the Bahamas and Jamaica to begin trading in?
Most definitely. Interestingly, this trade mission started out of discussions with Senator, and they would have shared a very specific list of goods that is being sought from us for the market. So that includes your usual agro-processing goods. So say, for instance, meats, milk, cereals, etc. So we would have gone to our members with this list of goods and encouraging them to look at the Bahamas for opportunities.
And what about the other way, Bahamas to Jamaica? What are some of the products or the services that we're looking to export to Jamaica? What are some of the opportunities there?
Yeah, and I think that's for you.
Yeah, that's for Ian.
Ian.
Thank you again, Mr. Strachan. Again, we're looking to build bilateral relationships between the companies that are coming to the Bahamas and those that will be meeting with those companies, whereby they can build both import and export relationships. And so, some of the sectors that have been identified by the Jamaican Manufacturers and Exporters Association, which are related to companies that are coming to the trade mission, are in the manufacturing, poultry, health and beauty, cosmetics, construction, beverages, including but not limited to spices, fruits, as I said, meats, teas, soups, condiments, and many other items.
Yeah, again, the economy there in terms of manufacturing is very mature, and I wouldn't say that that's the case for the Bahamas. What are the opportunities for Bahamians who want to do something like bulk manufacture a spice that they've created, to partner with a firm in Jamaica to have that done? Because the cost of manufacturing here is probably in some cases restrictive, whereas it might be beneficial in Jamaica for them to do it there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point. And we would urge companies to reach out to the Ministry of Economic Affairs via telephone or by email. That's 328-507-136 and trade@bahamas.gov.bs, so that they can set up these business-to-business meetings with the companies that are coming from Jamaica, and so that these type of discussions can take place. We believe this is a great opportunity for the two nations. As I've mentioned, we already have a beautiful, fortified, meaningful relationship with Jamaica, who is one of our neighbor countries in the Caribbean.
Can I get a Devon House franchise? Is that available?
Robert, you take that one.
I just want the ice cream.
Well, Robert, you would have to speak on that opportunity. You have been into that market several times, so go right ahead.
Good morning, everyone. It is really a pleasure to see this mission happen and to be a part of it. In my former life with the Mars Company, not the planet, the company, I traveled to Bahamas quite frequently. The Senior Frogs and all the wonderful places. Mm-hmm. And there are some great similarities we need to take advantage of. The fact that we are both strong tourist destinations. We have a wonderful history of tourism where we have pretty much close to 4 million tourists coming each year. And we have rebounded so well from COVID. So we are well established in the hospitality side of business as well as you are. So it's only natural then for us to come together and see where we can gain greater efficiencies and also have your product sourced from the region, taking advantage of the unique flavors and spices that is available in the region. There are many persons who think that, yes, we promote each island individually, but we should do more promoting the Caribbean. And I think as Caribbean people, we really should be doing more trade. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Jamaicans don't know what is available in the Bahamas. And certainly a lot of Bahamians don't know what is available in Jamaica.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect opportunity, for companies that are in retail and distribution, particularly in distribution, because this is where it creates a wonderful value chain where they come, they meet with us, they see it's cooking all our other products that they can trade, and therefore it builds their distribution.
Yeah, excellent. Sounds a wonderful idea.
And so That's the real purpose of this mission, to promote the trade between both countries.
Wonderful partnership between both countries.
Yeah.
And we're well set. We're coming in on Monday. We're setting up on Tuesday. And we are here to meet the Bahamians. And one of the things that I think we did right was to have a meeting beforehand. So there was a virtual meeting last week where all of the companies that are coming was able to meet with customs and so forth online and have the questions asked and answered. So they know the challenges of, what to do to bring the products into the island. So we're off on a very good start because people are already aware of what are some of the concerns or considerations that they have to put in place before the trade, before we begin to trade.
So, Kamisha, I think you mentioned some of the products that we see already here in the Bahamas market, but what can we expect at the trade show? Who will be coming down? What are some of the companies that are going to be coming next week?
So, at the trade show, we'll be having Sportree Spices, JP Tropical Foods, Easy Spices, HDB Manufacturers. They do things such as hand towels, tissue, bath soap. Spring Gardens Processing, they do dried fruits, chicken, coffee, fresh produce, sauces, spices, syrup, butter, milk, fish. Jamaica Ideal Spices, they do things such as rose and almond spices. Jamaica Broilers, they do chicken and other meats such as beef and pork and processed pork products. Caribbean Broilers Group, they do chicken, eggs, processed pork products. And Fostridge, they do construction and building materials such as plastic pipes and some electrical stuff.
Wow, okay, that's quite a few. How many companies in total? Or
we have 9 companies confirmed.
Okay. Excellent. Somebody's asking about Tasty Patty, if Tasty Patty can come. And what are the opportunities? What are the opportunities and how that would work?
We will reach out to them. If you want it, we'll try to get them there.
All right. Okay. And definitely I know there would be a market for Jamaican coffee. Definitely
Absolutely.
Would be a market. Yeah.
So we'll look into that as well. But it's a pleasure though, because CARICOM has been one of the focus markets for us. We have seen since January to May that our CARICOM exports increased by 45%. So that is a very important market to us because as Caribbean people, we do share similarities. So it's very important for us to penetrate this market and have, dual and mutual trade going on.
And Michael, what about Bahamian companies? They want to get into the Jamaican market and want to be a part of this trade forum as well, the mission.
Yes.
What should they do?
So they should definitely either contact us or the Trade Commission so that we can get them scheduled for the B2B meetings that will happen. There'll be some on Monday afternoon, and then on Tuesday, there'll be additional meetings. So that will be great for them to really have this one-on-one connect, especially if it's a company of interest. They can now have that direct conversation to see what are the parameters, what are the permits, the import duties, and any limitations or restrictions in terms of exporting their products now to Jamaica.
Will there be opportunities for Bahamian companies to go to Jamaica and show themselves like this as well?
So hopefully, yes. As a result of this particular mission, we are looking for that to happen. But the first thing they would have to do is actually make contact so that we can schedule these meetings, have the right conversations with the necessary stakeholders, and then we can, of course, perhaps plan an exchange mission at some point next year.
Yeah. All right. So even if you don't have a business, can you just come down to this next week?
So there'll be an expo on Tuesday the 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Courtyard Marriott. And then, of course, like I said, you can reach out to either the SBDC or the Trade Commission to schedule that direct one-on-one meeting. For the 11th of October, we'll be hosting meetings at our office on Gladstone Road from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that gives you an opportunity now to come out, look at the products, see some of the samples, have the conversations, and understand just exactly, maybe what export barriers are there that you'll be facing in order to get your products now into the right market.
Okay. All right. Wonderful stuff. The text messages are very interesting. So he's asking if there will be complimentary bun and cheese, Jamaican bun and cheese next week. This person says they're asking for a friend.
That would be nice.
You know what? If that friend comes, there might be some surprises.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
I need the Aki and Saltfish TV dinner. That's what I need.
I recently tried a chocolate. I cannot remember, but it had like jerk spice in the chocolate.
Wow.
It was a jerk flavored chocolate. It was really nice.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe it's pure chocolate or chocolate dreams. We'll have to investigate that one for you.
Okay.
But we do have some premium products that you're all naming, so we're excited to come along next week.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So one more time, Michael, give us the dates and the times for people to come
Sure.
out there and see all of this.
So on the 10th of October, that's Tuesday, the Trade Expo from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Courtyard Marriott on West Bay Street. And then on the 11th of October, which is Wednesday, we will have business-to-business meetings at the Access Accelerator office on Gladstone Road. So you can call us at 461-SBDC. I think Ian said the numbers for the Trade Commission is 328-5071. And so you can make contact so that you can find out, okay, how do I schedule a meeting so that you are organized and not just waiting around. How do I schedule a meeting with this particular vendor? Or will I have opportunities to meet with multiple vendors on that day? Yes, you do. And so we'd want them to have a full day as possible, interacting with not only the wholesalers and the retailers, but of course some business owners who want to understand in the same industry, get that advice, that support, and how can we now have mutual relations and increase our trade opportunities from both ends, on the Jamaica and with the Bahamas.
Wonderful stuff. Very exciting. All right, so we're looking forward to this next week. Michael Munnings, thank you so much.
Thank
and you're
you,
going to stick
too.
around, of course.
Yes.
And Ian Cargill with the Bahamas Trade Commission, thank you. And, of course, from JMEA, Kamisha Blake and Robert Scott, thank you very much.
Yes,
Looking
thank
forward to you all being here next week.
It's absolutely our pleasure.
All right, take care.
This is an awesome opportunity for bilateral and meaningful relationships between our nations. And so we strongly encourage those businesses to please reach out to either the Ministry of Economic Affairs or to SBDC.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Thank you again. Appreciate it. We're going to take a break and be back with more with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center after this. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Morning, everyone. Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Total visitor arrivals year to date have increased by 46.9% compared to 2022 numbers, with sea arrivals dominating visitor numbers. That's according to the Central Bank of the Bahamas in their latest monthly economic and financial developments report for August 2023. In August, the Bahamian economy continued on its growth momentum as the recovery from the COVID pandemic neared completion and economic indicators returned closer to their medium-term trajectory. The report overview explained that January to August tourism arrivals totaled 6.6 million compared to the same review period in 2022 when numbers were 4.3 million. Contributing to the outcome, air arrivals increased to 1.3 million passengers from 1 million in the previous year, reflecting gains in all major markets. Similarly, sea arrivals also accelerated to 5.4 million from 3.3 million visitors in the preceding year. The central bank also explained that tourism output was buoyant in August thanks to continued improvements in both air and sea arrivals from key source markets. More on this in today's Guardian Business section. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, says he's certain Saudi Arabia's largest tech hub, King Abdulaziz City, for science and technology, will become an important strategic partner in the development of a local tech hub on Grand Bahama. Cooper making the remarks in a wrap-up video following his recent trip to Saudi Arabia, where he once again visited the tech hub and spoke with the president on opportunities. Cooper says that other government officials who traveled to Saudi Arabia had the opportunity to talk to Saudi Arabians in the tech and tourism space about using technology. You can read more about it in today's Guardian Business section. The Manchester Airport Group is working with the government to understand what the timeline will be for the development of a new Grand Bahama International Airport. That's according to the group's director, Andrew Tyler Smith. He spoke with the media yesterday. The timeline for the airport, he says, is a, quote, piece of work that we're undertaking now. And the Bahamas telecommunications company BTC expressing record growth in its fiber uptake in the market. The company saying yesterday that it has exceeded its target for third quarter of the year. CEO Samir Bhatti says the company set an aggressive market share target and has exceeded those targets every month. He says he's thanking customers for choosing BTC. Details on all of these stories in today's Guardian Business section. Overseas, from the U.S., more evidence that the job market is hot after job openings rise unexpectedly in August. The U.S. job openings, another sign that the U.S. labor market remains strong despite higher interest rates, perhaps too strong for the inflation fighters of the Federal Reserve. American employers posted 9.6 million job openings in August, up from 8.9 million in July, and the first uptick in 3 months. The Labor Department issuing that statement on Tuesday. Economists had expected only another 8.9 vacancies. The number of layoffs of people quitting their jobs, a sign of confidence in their prospects, were both essentially unchanged from July. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers, Bahamas First Holdings moving 10,000 shares, closing at $2 unchanged. Bahamas Waste moving $3.50, closing at $9.65 unchanged. Kalina Holdings moving $812, closing at $10 unchanged. CIBC First Caribbean Bank moving $9.80, closing at $14.50 unchanged. And Fidelity Bank moving $155, closing at $17.75 unchanged. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,730.30, down 0.15. That's your Market Watch. And that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL and the CFAL Pension and Economic Conference, Thursday, October 19th at Bahamar Convention Center. And we are back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strollo with Chester Robards. On this Wednesday morning, we continue with Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. And okay, so as Michael is explaining off here, you're going to do that on air. We're talking about a trade mission before, and now we've got a trade expo,
Correct.
A special show here.
So the 2023 Trade Expo, the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce has partnered with SBDC. I mean, we're longstanding partners for this event coming up in November. So local business owners will be able to showcase their products and services on a wider platform, and it's free. It's open to the public. You can come in, you can shop, you can bring the family, bring the kids, and see what our business owners, our small, micro, and medium-sized business owners have to offer.
Okay,
wow. Now, you had this last year. This is the first.
No, the last time we had it was in 2019.
Okay.
It is an annual event, but we had to put a pause on it because of COVID.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first expo since the pandemic.
All right, so that voice, that's the Trade Services Manager of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Charlo Morley. Charo, okay. Yes. Charo Morley, thank you very much. Great to have you with us. And we also have back with us head of B2B marketing with a live business, Jennifer Basin. Jennifer, you're here every week. You might as well be a part of the team, eh?
I'm worried you guys might start charging me rent.
No, you'll be fine. Thank you very much. Great to have you both with us. Okay, so give us some of the background then, Charo, about this event. Before 2019, how many times have we done this?
I think we've done it about 2 or 3 times
right.
Before 2019. The goal of the expo is to strengthen economic activity as well as to help businesses to grow, and then also for the chamber to contribute to the diversification of the economy. Mm-hmm. And so we've been able to do this by allowing businesses who participate in the expo to enhance their export readiness. There's also been an opportunity for business-to-business exchange between the exhibitors and our members, as well as among the exhibitors themselves. Mm-hmm. The Trade Expo in the past has also allowed the exhibitors to increase their customer base, as well as allow them to test products, bring products to the market, and see how the public responds to it. Yeah. So it has been successful in the past, and we're happy this year to partner with SBDC.
Mm-hmm. What are the dates we're looking at again?
It's Saturday, November 4th, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All right, so people have time to be a part of this.
Yes,
right?
Yes, certainly.
All right. So who should be a part of this? Who should be in this?
We're looking for local Bahamian businesses from all sectors. We're not closing anybody off. Mm-hmm. We're looking for anywhere from new businesses to even more established businesses and everybody in between.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Jennifer Baston, what is your role in all of this with the live business?
Well, certainly we have a strong partnership with Access Accelerator or Small Business Development Center, and we have worked in the past also with the Chamber. But our role is just to ensure that we power it up to make sure that it's a smooth presentation or a smooth event in terms of just making sure that, we have Wi-Fi and all of the connectivity that definitely would be needed as we invite the businesses and entrepreneurs to come out to mix and mingle and to participate in this event. So we continue to be a strategic partner for Small Business Development Center, and we're excited to once again, like I said, work along with the Chamber in supporting this event, which, really deals directly with our base, which is B2B customers and entrepreneurs and of all varying sizes. And so we are happy to support and looking forward to the event.
Okay. So what are the requirements for vendors? Is there a fee, a cost? What do they need to do?
Okay, so they can go to the Chamber's website, which is thebahamaschamber.com, and on there they can find the online application. We really want to support business activity, so we haven't been very stringent on requirements. Business licenses are being asked for, but they are not mandatory. The cost to participate for members is $165. Then we have a special category for young people, women, MSMEs, and Family Island exhibitors, and that's $220. And then persons outside of both of those categories, it's $330.
And it's a 1 day.
Yes.
1 day event.
It's a 1 day
Wonderful
event.
day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so those costs you will be provided with, of course, your booth setup, table, chairs, tent, etc., and of course, marketing efforts. So you'll be included in all of the social media promotions, any rollouts that we do. Perhaps giving those vendors who would have signed up opportunities to now for their ads to be showcased in different platforms as well. And so it's not just a fee just for having a fee's sake, but we are looking to definitely have a great day, bring out the wider public, perhaps have a live remote so that persons can be drawn into the event, and you definitely increase your visibility. And of course, like Charo said, sometimes you go to these pop-ups and you realize that you need the product and services of the business owner right on the side of you. And so increasing the awareness of certain types of businesses, whether new or existing, and of course helping them to improve the relations.
So are there any no-nos? It's like, don't know, we can't accommodate this, don't come here, don't be barbecuing all this food around it. Anything that you just won't, we can't accommodate this right now.
That's a funny. I don't know. I don't think there's anything. I feel that most persons, genuine entrepreneurs, they're genuine entrepreneurs. So I think they will come with the right products to showcase.
And I imagine space is limited based on the venue?
Space is limited, yes.
Space is limited.
Yeah, so sign up quick.
Yes. So it's a first come, first serve. We're almost, we've met 50% of the target already. Okay. So again, persons are excited. And then, of course, those without a storefront, they are always happy and eager to be a part of these opportunities because if you're doing, let's say you're doing deliveries or you're online only, this now gives you wider exposure. And then, of course, let's say you have a Chester who's going to be a vendor and he knows persons. Once people see his logo on the flyer, they're going to come out. And so business owners understand the importance of that visibility, the added traction, and what it can do for their business. So the signups are at our 50% goal already.
Yeah.
And we're a month out from the event.
Looking for smaller enterprises, though.
Yes.
Not the big.
No. I mean,
it's a wide mix.
We prefer it to be a great mix, a good mix. Yes.
Right.
And then, as Jen said, the first thing when people come over to your home, what they ask, what's the Wi-Fi password? So we definitely are happy to have a live business on board so that when you walk in, it's a smooth, seamless transition of, converting or having some connectivity. And not just that, what about those business owners who actually have their handheld device to be able to accept payments? You don't want them to say, okay, well, something's happening. I can't get on. I can't take your card right now. But we'll actually have a smooth, seamless connection with the, a live fiber.
All right, so that will be encouraged. You can come out there and sell your wares, not just display.
Yes.
You can
actually sell. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So can you tell us who signed up so far, or at least the fields that they're in, the sectors they're in, so we can have a little idea?
Okay, so some of the exhibitors are Easy Car Sales, We Buy, You Sell, John Watlings, Wem Automotive.
So there'll be drinks.
Wem
We'll be there.
Naturally Bahamian, Unique Store Design, even BTVI.
Okay.
So it's a good mix.
All right, excellent.
Wim.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Good
stuff. They were in the last expo too.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was going to ask, who have you seen at the last?
Wem Automotive was at the last one, as well as Naturally Bahamian, which is a tea company.
Oh, okay.
Very good teas, Bahamian teas.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We can get some for your grass tea, Dwight.
That sounds perfect. Could have used that this morning. All right. So one more time, the public who you want to come out there, what do they need to know? You said it's free to them.
Yes. So Saturday, November 4th at Crypto Isle, starting at 10 a.m. and until we finish. That's until we end. So they can come on out, bring the family, You can bring cash. You bring your card. You should be able to purchase products and services from the various vendors. And not only that, even if you just want to come and look and see what's available to get the information, get a brochure, get a flyer, you never know. You may need this product in a week or so from the event. So just come on out and expect a good time. We'll have a host, we'll have music, there'll be food and beverage vendors. Of course, we said John Watlings is going to be there. So you can leave the kids in the kiddie corner. And
So, see, someone did need to come barbecue.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
Yes,
So,
Dwight. So
yeah.
we
So you
probably
can do
do
it.
need a barbecue vendor.
Come out there. Right. And Charo, is there a deadline for people to sign up for if they want to be a vendor out there?
Yes, the deadline is actually this Friday,
Oh,
October 6th.
okay. All right. So get to it.
Please, yes,
Yeah.
yes. They can call the chamber 322-2145, or they can visit the chamber's website, thebahamaschamber.com, to access the online application.
Mhm. And how many vendors in total do you think you can accommodate?
You don't want to go over 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this Friday.
Is
This
that right?
Friday.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, this is why they're here today.
Yes.
Right. So get cracking.
Okay.
folks.
Last call.
Yeah. Exactly. So this is gonna be exciting.
Halfway there.
Okay. And again, it's gonna be Saturday, November 4th at
Crypto Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you all so much for being with us
Thank
this
you,
morning.
Joe.
Charo Morley, Jennifer Baston, Michael Munnings. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, too.
Thank you, too.
We're going to take a break and then be back to wrap things up on this Wednesday. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Too many debt bills? Overdue on loan payments? Improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Shrink your debt payments with a debt consolidation loan and built-in savings that pays you 5% interest. Call 356-7764.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us. So call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
And we are back here with the final few minutes of Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday. And as we've been telling you, and as you probably know, the opening of Parliament just set for minutes from now, and we will be joining the coverage from downtown Nassau
Hear from
this
your
morning.
new Governor General.
Right, the new Governor General, Cynthia Pratt, will read the speech from the throne, and we're going to hear the government's roadmap, I guess, for the next few years in office.
Yep.
And so many people looking forward to this, high anticipation of what we might hear. So that is coming up in just a few minutes. So a reminder about the road closures. By now you know, and I hope you know, to avoid downtown if you aren't going to the to attend the event this morning. But basically downtown, if you don't need to be there, don't go in that direction. And these streets are going to be closed until after the ceremony this morning, which will take us into this afternoon, I'm sure. So definitely Bay Street between Frederick Street and East Street, Charlotte Street between Shirley and Woods Rogers Walk, and Parliament Street between Woods Rogers Walk and Shirley Street. And quite a few of these streets have been closed from as early as Monday and Tuesday to vehicular traffic. And so there are diversions and other closures as well. So keep that in mind. But yeah. So anything you're looking out to
I'm gonna
this morning?
Give everybody my bank account, and every time you hear the phrase "my government," send me $1.
Well, we could probably pay down a good portion of the national debt and the deficit if everybody did that, right? If you use that money for good. But I was being serious. Anything that you're looking forward to, expecting, anticipating, hoping to hear in the speech from the throne?
You know, I was actually happy that the business sector, through the Chamber of Commerce, sent what they sent about what they hope to hear coming up in the legislative agenda.
Yeah.
Is easing the burden and pressures on business.
Yeah.
I'm a business person. I understand it too. I know what they're talking about. Things are difficult. It's still, the systems are still too spread apart to do things, to get things done for business.
Yeah. And the opposition issuing a statement saying,
they agree,
they need to address the ease of doing business.
Light bills are killing businesses, and they're passing it on to customers, making the cost of living even more uncontrollable.
Yep. I think they also mentioned the roads as well.
And
right?
the roads,
the potholes, how that is
destroying.
causing.
I mean, some businesses are happy for that, but again,
many aren't.
businesses have their vehicles on
That's
the roads,
right.
and they're being destroyed.
Yep,
by
absolutely,
the roads.
absolutely.
The flooding, causing businesses to have to close.
People can't get to the business,
and they can't get to the businesses. Their products are being destroyed. Their floors are being destroyed.
Yep. You're right. That was a very interesting statement from the Chamber of Commerce this week. And
I didn't expect them to bring up some certain things.
Yeah, that was
like
refreshing.
The roads and
refreshing because often it seems like they're not in our world. Yeah. But that was great. It was wonderful, and so glad to have read that, and glad they're speaking out.
There's interesting things to look forward to, like the marijuana legislation. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting selling point, I think, for them as a party later on.
Well, for now, we'll see.
Especially
we'll see
because
when
it comes
the reality when the reality hits, when we learn more about how this is going to work.
Right.
I think we'll see. We'll see. But yep. So that's coming up.
How about you? Are you looking forward to anything?
Well,
I'm looking forward to hearing from Mother Pratt too.
I want to hear it, but as I said before, there's a whole lot of things that had been promised before that we don't know where they stand on these matters. Yeah. Will there be clarification and clarity on it today? Maybe. We'll see. And of course, we'll be talking about it a whole lot tomorrow, so tune in for that. But Chester, that's it for us today. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you the speech from the throne and the opening of Parliament this morning. And that's it. We'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.